I'm also just a girl, standing in front of a boy, asking him to love her.
Hi. So the reason I've been gone for so long is because I was in a slump. I laid in bed and rotted. Like, I was decomposing. It was winter time. I was freezing. I couldn't move. I was really sick. Just a lot of shit went down. Now I have to pay the consequences. I thought I'd take you guys with me. I also am in a really big reading slump, which is really bad because I love to read. And I've only still read like a couple of books this year. I don't really have a reading goal. Like, I don't really have a set amount of books that I want to read. On Goodreads it says 50, but I doubt that I'm gonna make it to 50. I just need to read more books. So hopefully I'll be able to read these 3 books by the end of the video, but I won't promise you that. These are all books that I think Will from Notting Hill would read. You actually see him reading this book at the end of the movie. I saw it while I was watching it and I was like, oh my god, I have that book. So now I'm reading it. I'm gonna be reading Captain Corelli's Mandolin, Soul of a Prince by Steve Rubai, and Emma by Jane Austen.
Near lying and saying that I was excited to read this book when in reality, I just wanted to watch the movie. BC, I'm too lazy to try to understand the family tree of this book. Jane Austen, your mother, but please NTM on me, I'm a little dumb.
I'm so severely behind on assignments and I just need to submit them all. But for me to submit those assignments, I'm gonna have to study to be able to do them and then submit them. Shocker, isn't that just so crazy? So I think I'm gonna like time-lapse myself studying. I don't know. I might as well time-lapse myself reading too. So yeah. Actually, I think I lied to you guys because in my month of slumber and rotting in my bed, I did do one thing that was very productive, and that is to make fake photo cards. So what I did was I just went on Pinterest, searched up my favorite idols, printed them out, and then laminated the paper, and now I have Jaehyun in this little ID card slot thing. And I didn't just print out like K-pop idols. We also got Biba Doobie. We got Hugh Grant's mugshot. But I also have Felix in the back, just in case people like look at me weird, because I will be carrying these out in public. Yes, I love Hugh Grant, and yes, I know that he's an asshole. Here's proof. I also stream Maxident by Stray Kids. I think I kind of went a little bit overboard because anyways, I'm getting carried away. Let's go study. I got Sarangho on YouTube on my old iPad. We got the history notes, and then we got my laptop, and then we got the Pomodoro method on. Okay, so I'm on page 60 of this book, so I'm on the 3rd chapter, and so far it's like okay, like nothing life-changing has really touched me about this book. Okay, so I'm just gonna like read the blurb. It says,
I read the blurb so boringly.
Basically, it's about a kid named Solomon who goes on a spiritual endeavor in finding his purpose. He then meets a merchant and then a fisherman and then discovers love.
and yes, this is very much a self-discovery and spiritual insight book, because so far I've read a lot of like religious analogies. I feel like this is a great little book to read if you want to get into like faith and believing in a higher power. Essentially, it's about, you know, finding purpose through religion. Although it doesn't really explicitly say religion, it definitely is talking about religion. But then again, this is giving me like C.S. Lewis vibes. It's giving me Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, just minus the lion, the witch, and the wardrobe. But it has, you know, the main character, Solomon, has the same innocence as Lucy from Narnia, the Chronicles of Narnia. If you didn't know, the Chronicles of Narnia is actually like based off of the Bible. Which is so, like, I just found out about that, like, recently. Like, the reason why Susan isn't in, like, the last Narnia films was because she stopped believing in God, or she stopped believing in Narnia, which is, like, a metaphor for heaven, and Aslan is, like, God or something. That was crazy to me. Why did they kick her out like that? Like, oh my God, it's crazy. But I like how they don't really have a concept of hell, because that would have been fucked up. So I hope this book doesn't really talk about hell in a way where it's like, bring the fire. Very interested to see how this book ends. Oh my God, the merchant's name is Abraham. And like now he's talking about like Islam, he's talking about Christianity. Because like those are Abrahamic religions. Okay, I have a long day of studying and reading, but before I do any of that, I'm gonna have some toast. Some butter on it. It's so boring, but it tastes good. Okay, so I got some books in the mail today, and these are secondhand books that I got online. Hopefully they're in good condition. So I got Toni Morrison's The Bluest Eye, which I believe is her first novel. I wanted to read Beloved, but I figured that I wanted to read her first book. Second book I got was Slouching Towards Bethlehem by Joan Didion. I think this is set in the 60s in California, but it even has like her iconic photo there, so yeah, so I'm very excited for this. And the last book I got was Cat on a Hot Tin Roof by Tennessee Williams, and this is a play that I'm studying for school right now, so love that. I think I'm gonna do a reading vlog on these books, so stay tuned for that. This is so embarrassing. Oh my God. I think I'm gonna like DNF Emma. Hold your horses. Emma is already a movie, one that I haven't watched yet, and I think I'm just gonna watch the movie instead. I'm not the type of person to like really care if you read the books before the movie or vice versa, but I really wanted to read this first before I watched the movie. Just like the characters, how they all share the same fucking last name. Like it's just like, it almost hurts my brain to read it. I feel like that says a lot more about me than it does Jane Austen, but I'll probably try to finish it another time, but it's just like, this is putting me in a slump, and I don't know. I feel like I'll try to keep on reading it, but it's just like get to the point, I am reading Captain Corelli's Mandolin, and I'm very like not much progress has happened, but I am loving it so far. There's a gay soldier in here, and I'm gonna like insert a photo of my favorite line so far, and it's just giving Lana Del Rey vinyl. Like, that's just, I love that so much. Like, I love that for him. I don't really know what the story is, but I do know that it's set during World War II. The dedication page kind of made me cry a little bit, just a little bit. I just realized that the reason Will is reading this at the end of Notting Hill is because the director of Notting Hill made this into a movie. Like, that was the movie after Notting Hill was released. Love it when directors put like Easter eggs in movies or just like hints and clues that only like people who really pay attention to film might enjoy. I don't know, I love that. I love that a lot.
Parabéns.
If you don't know what Captain Corelli's Mandolin is about, it's basically a historical romance novel. There's a lot of tropes in this book, which I actually like. This novel was set in 1941 during the Italian and German occupation of the Greek island of Cephalonia during World War II. It follows two plot lines. One is about Pelagia, I don't know how to say her name, but it follows her and this dude named Mandras, and they get engaged before he has to go off to war. And Captain Corelli arrives, and so a love triangle kind of sparks from there. And we also follow Carlos, who is a gay soldier, and he's giving Lana Del Rey red vinyl. Like, I love him so much. He's probably one of my favorite characters. I haven't actually finished the book yet, but I'm almost done. And so far, he hasn't done anything bad, so I love him. Like, he's my favorite character. This was adapted into a movie starring Nicolas Cage, but I decided to just read the book instead of watch the movie because I'm kind of just like sick of Nicolas Cage. Since this is a historical fiction novel, it felt kind of slow paced, but at the same time so much was happening because like it was set during the war. And if you don't really know much about the German and Italian occupation of Greece, then I feel like there will be parts of this book that you might find confusing, so you're gonna have to like research a bunch of stuff. But other than that, I think it was quite funny at times as well. But overall, I give the book like a 3 out of 5. It's not my favorite, but it was definitely interesting. I just finished reading Soul of a Prince by Steve Rubai. Oh, this isn't a shit stain, by the way. It's a dye stain. But if you don't believe me and you don't trust me, that's fine. That's on you. Anyway, the ending feels like a timed creative writing essay that you only had like 2.5 minutes to plan for. It was so bizarre and so like random. Like, I did not expect that. Like, I know I said earlier that he finds love, but I didn't know how quick. Like, I just whoa, what the heck? Overall, this book gives me Adore You music video by Harry Styles vibes, a touch of Midsommar, the Morgan Freeman Story of God documentary, which I actually really love, so that is not a diss, and that one scene from Diary of a Wimpy Kid where Greg like attends church and then it makes it look like he pooped his pants. Poopy. Oh, Manny! Overall, I give this book a 1 out of 5 stars, but I'm gonna give it an extra point because the cover is just so beautiful. And speaking of book covers, I was like talking to this person who designs book covers. Obviously, like, if you design book covers, the whole premise that you have when designing book covers is that people are going to judge a book by its cover. So then I just went on this like loophole of the whole like concept behind not judging a book by its cover, like literally like judging a book. Like, I know it's a metaphor for not like, you know, judging people by their looks or whatever, but like when it comes to like books, like you really do judge the book by its cover. Like, why are we taught at such a young age to not judge a physical book by its cover? Like, you could have just told us to not be mean to people. You know what I mean? Like, why did it have to be judging a book by its cover? Dude, like, calm down. Like, calm down. Anyways, back to this book. I liked the writing style, kind of, but he keeps bringing emphasis to the beauty and like the physical appearances of women in this book. Like, that is like literally their only trait. Like, yeah, he's not the first male author to have reductionist views on his female characters. I don't really understand how this book would necessarily appeal to young women reading about entering faith for the first time. Like, like side-eye, you know what I mean? Anyways, that is for this video. I'm so sorry it took me so long to upload. It won't happen again. Just kidding, I'm a pathological liar.